I'm ready to smash a bird.
No border. I am going to be uncomfortable and all over you from start to finish.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special, holiday edition of Outside of the Box, because by the time when this airs, it will be the day after Christmas. So this is my gift to myself to be interviewing these people on my show here. So if you are not familiar, which you should be if you've watched Norwalk at all, Milktank, Milktankette, and Vaca Tank, some of my favorite robots there. Here are the wonderful people behind that. Welcome to my show, and please introduce yourselves.
I'm Tamara.
And I'm Ashley.
Yes, if you have watched Norwalk, certainly you have seen their faces at some point. So, and if you haven't, you need to start watching Norwalk. But anyways, I'm super excited to have you, especially because Milktank is a Pokemon, and as everybody knows, I love Pokemon, and I often compare BattleBots to Pokemon, except without the sentience. But who knows? We may get there in a year or two. So you just came off of the December Norwalk event, which was amazing. So let's kind of start off by talking about that. Like, how was that in general, like, for both of you?
It's really cool. It's the second year in a row that we've actually made it to finals, which for us is a huge blessing. Obviously we built some ridiculous robots and we're still very new to the game. So what we're doing is not as high as level as, the Calvins and the JMOs of the world, but to be able to make it that far and to be in that space with so many great builders is just an incredible experience to be like, to walk up and just be like, oh, all right, I saw you on BattleBots, and now we're gonna fight. Like, let's go. Here we go. Like we did it. We made it. Like, it's just an incredible experience. Like overall.
For me, it's surreal. I can never believe that we're actually at any tournament because I'm there behind the scenes watching everything go wrong, not being able to figure things out, and then to bring something there that works at all is mind-blowing to me. It just is. Especially in the 30-pound class. When I was watching some of those bots, I was like, we have no business in this class.
This is hard.
We just don't understand enough yet.
You never know, though. I mean, like,
you never know.
I really think that there's, kind of three classes of robots. There's like the ones that are like gonna kill your face. There's the ones that are just like purely for fun, and then there are some like hybrid robots that are good and effective, but also fun. And like sometimes I think that's the best kind.
Yeah, we definitely ride that line. Especially I would think with the new version that we came with for finals, everything we did prior to was saw blades and piecing different things together. Like we threw Vaca Tank together 2 weeks before November. And then after November, we had that beautiful fight with emulsifier and ended up in a few different pieces. When we rebuilt, we really went back to the basics and we're like, okay, like let's actually machine the right material and show up with something that maybe has a chance.
Like when your robot does get destroyed like that, though, do you find that a really valuable learning tool to like look at everything that came apart and figure out, okay, how can we like fortify this to make that less likely next time?
Oh yeah, we have a team autopsy where we take it apart. And I'm like, oh, that's what happened there, and oh, we forgot to do that, or oh, I didn't realize that wasn't the aluminum I thought it was. And then we
Oh,
just
that
realized there's
cracked
a
in half?
whole
That
world.
wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah, there's a whole world of different aspects of it that we just don't know. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know we had to study all the different metals.
Yeah,
But it's
you
fun
learn
because
so
like
much.
we love to learn all of this stuff. It's just that we, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, and I'm curious because I don't think that like I've ever heard this in any interview, but like what was the whole idea and stuff behind getting started in the first place? Because I know you said you're still pretty new to it, obviously, but like what was, where you're like, okay, this is what we're gonna do, and like that whole thing.
So my son is on staff. My son is Eamon, and he does a lot of stuff there. Pretty much he's the one running around like crazy. He built the cages, and he can, weld things for a lot of the builders and all that other kind of stuff. So last year, my husband and I went to go see him at work, basically. And I was like, wow, this is fun. This is amazing. So I was like, Ash, we got to do this. I want to build a robot. She was like, okay. So then we went to watch one together. Yeah, we went to watch one together, and then she was like, yep.
What was like the specific like to go that direction and do like this milk tank thing? What was specifically behind that idea?
Oh, that's an Ashley thing.
Tamara and I originally met playing Pokemon. We met in a common server and instantly became friends and just have like obviously the best energy, and we match each other to a T perfectly. And so she's like, well, like, can we build a robot? And I'm like, oh sure, but can it be cow themed? Because cows are like my favorite animal. I've loved them since I was like 5. And because of Pokemon, I was like, all right, well, we can go something with like Milktank, and we'll make it a Pokemon themed, but still cow, to kind of tell our whole story of how we met and like where we're going.
That is a great idea. And obviously I don't think I need to ask you like what your favorite Pokemon is.
That's a dead giveaway for me, for sure.
Now, the real question is though, as far as your robot, would you still consider it the same Pokemon type as Miltank, or would you give it a different Pokemon type?
Ooh,
that's a good question.
Wow.
Well, I would say that Milktank is definitely not normal. So
no, I mean,
I don't think it's very fake.
Yeah, I mean, if you had to go with something semi-obvious, you would kind of go with like steel and electric kind of combo.
I don't know. I was thinking steel and fairy because of the glitter.
Ooh, I wish it could be a triple combo.
That would be ideal. That's a good one.
Yeah, it really is such a fun idea. And I think, because of the fact that it's fun, because I often talk about kids that watch, the robot competitions or what have you, because obviously like my daughter is crazy into this. And, of course, she told me before, I was like, oh, if you made a robot, what would you call it? And she was like, unicorn glitter sparkle. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But like, knowing that you have, a lot of kids and a lot of little girls in particular watching you do this, that really is very inspirational, because it's not like when I was a kid, I would have never thought of doing, robot stuff. That wasn't a thing that we did. Like I had Barbies and My Little Pony and stuff like that, So how is it to like be a role model for girls that could be interested in this?
It's really cool. And I got I was very lucky enough to be able to go to Vegas this year and go to a couple of days of tapings. And the first day I sat in the stands, I sat next to a family with a mom and a daughter and a son and husband. And so I was talking back and forth with the mom a lot. And she, at the end of the day, like, what goes, thank you for what you do. And thank you for inspiring people like my daughter. And I was just like, okay, like, thank you. Like, it's cool.
It's definitely meaningful. I mean, it's not something we set out to do or even imagined would happen, but the fan reaction has just been amazing. And it's really important and special to us. Anytime that anyone comes up to us and asks us questions or just wants to say hi or get a signature, it's like, wow, we're doing something that means something to someone else. And it's kind of incredible.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like, your robots are such a big part of Norwalk at this point, like a staple. I mean, like the behind the box folks even have the cow onesies that that they wear. So it's like, it's such a, like, you watch a Norwalk event and those are the robots that you look for, amongst many others, but like still it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's cool to be able to, and like for me especially because I, rock the cow onesie and everything. Like even on every intro to every video, like we filmed with NHRL for This Is Havoc, and it hasn't come out yet, but even on this month's intro for the finals, it's like you see the action and you see like me, and I'm just like, oh, there we are again. And it's cool to just always like be recognized as a face. I think in September there was about 9 to 10 different people all wearing a cow onesie. Like I looked up on stream from the pits and there was like 2 people in cow onesies facing someone else in a cow onesie. And I was standing at my pit table and I was like, hold on. Like, just, it's so cool to just be like so welcomed and, to have like Evan Arias and like people like that rock a cow onesie. You feel a little bit special for sure.
Yes, and Evan is also a very big fan of Pokemon.
Exactly.
So
He totally is.
Yeah, I've vowed like at some point, like there's going to be some kind of BattleBots Pokemon like hybrid thing going on, whether we do some kind of like, tournament or
together.
something. I think it needs to happen. Like everybody, because obviously Matt and Sarah Spurk from Team Kraken, also really huge fans of Pokemon. Like there are enough people that this can happen.
Absolutely. Tony D'Ambrosia, Angel Vidal, like I'm friends with them on Pokemon. Like we could do something for sure.
Yes. We need to figure this out and make this happen. I'm just trying to figure out what we do. Like, do we get a big raiding party and like all play or something? We need to do it.
I'm down. Let me know.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. So that's definitely cool. Yeah, because another thing that I've been wanting to do, and that maybe I can kind of roll, some Norwalk folks into this, because obviously there's a lot of fans there, but to do a who's that BattleBot instead of who's that Pokemon, like, like
Ooh.
show a picture with a silhouette and be like, what robot is this?
I feel like that would be super hard in some
It would be.
It would be fun though.
That's the point is it would be difficult. But yeah, no, that's what one of the things that I love about Norwalk so much though is like the uniqueness of it and like the creativity, because I mean you do have that at the higher levels, with BattleBots to some extent, but I feel like because it's a televised competition, the robots are typically geared more towards that kill your face kind of thing, and not so much like, I'm just going to do this because it sounds fun. Like there's so many fun robots at Norwalk that I just love to see, whether they do well or not. Like that, I think that's an awesome thing.
Yeah, I definitely like the fact that it encourages creativity. I think it's just, there's something there for everyone, no matter how you approach robotics and what parts of it interest you and what parts you're good at. It's just a space for every way to kind of go at it, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I'm sure Tom doesn't get tired of me bringing him up on the show, but like Tom Farkas he's just such a great example though, like of that, of like saying, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna take an idea, I'm gonna like, you know, get cutting boards and I'm gonna make this robot and I'm gonna bring it, and like, you know, I think that he probably even surprised himself.
Wait till you see Tom's newest creation. I don't know when the last time you talked to him was, but OMG, wait for January.
Well, I've seen Positively Hysterical. Yes.
Incredible.
Yeah, because he sent me a video of it before the event,
Oh,
and I
good.
was like, yes, I am all in on this.
Yes, he is definitely one of my favorite builders that we have had the blessing to interact with at Norwalk for sure. And for him, especially, like, he won the Sparky for, you know, Rookie Builder of the Year, and he deserves that 110%. Like, he is just such a light and such just crazy ideas and just brings them to life. And yeah, no, he's incredible. Absolutely.
Yeah, I can't get enough of just watching that cat paw just
Yeah, that's hilarious.
especially because as everyone knows, I love cats. I have 3 of them myself.
We do too. So it
Yep.
was so fitting. It's so perfect. It's so
Yes, exactly. I thought that when, you know, when we had Mad Catter and BattleBots, I was like, yeah, that's cool. There's a cat robot, but we need more cat robots.
Yeah.
Cat robot army.
I love it.
Yeah, so if any, you know, anybody that's watching that's like, I want to build a robot for Norwalk, just make another cat.
Yeah, please.
I think for me, honestly, I think a lot of the robots that are either animal themed or food themed are some of my favorites, and really I think that Milktank kind of hits both of those.
Yeah, we definitely get a lot of steak jokes.
I mean, it's better than milk jokes though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, going back, that serial killer fight was destined to happen because they just go together.
That was such a
it was the perfect fight ever.
It was so fun. I loved meeting him. That was so great.
That's definitely like one of the highlights of my year for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that robot.
Yes. And I mean, like, you know, like he's taken that design and is, you know, slowly working to kind of evolve that, you know, what, as far as like your robots, is there any of that like plan for evolution in them? Because again, like, I have to throw every Pokemon reference out there. Like, that's the name of the game though, with the robots, is evolving them, you know, taking an idea and then like expanding on that.
So, I mean, obviously we learn something every time. So there's a natural evolution every time we learn something. But also we keep making spin-off robots, trying different weapons, different types of just crazy ideas. We have one in the works now, Milkshake, that we don't really want to talk too much about, but it's definitely very, very different from anything that we've done before. And that's probably going to debut in May. So absolutely, evolution is the name of the game. There's never any robot that it works exactly the same way as it did the time before, just simply because we're still learning so much every time. So I think, like, at the beginning, a lot of the bots that are kind of going to be, you know, what they are, we're still on such a huge learning curve that they look radically different every time, pretty much. So, and then of course we always want to think about something, a little ridiculous touch to add to each, and that's always fun to think about, like, what do we do next? I mean, we've done the bubbles, we've done the glitter, what, you know, what, where do we go? Yeah, where do we go from here? So that's fun and challenging at the same time, kind of trying to think of something that, you know, we could pull off that's fun.
Yeah. Ashley, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I mean, it'll be interesting in 2023 because we did learn a lot, not just in 2021, 2022 as well. So it's like we've gotten so far on so many of like every robot that we've created. And so to just be able to take it every time to like that next level and make everything like a little bit more convenient, like even from the beginning, watching me probably like load in the cage, like you see me like stick all of the battery wires together and then shove them in the robot and tape them shut. And, you know, even like evolutions of just being able to like pop in, put it away and not have like such a crazy like just startup and everything like that, like even little tiny things like that we make changes to, it just continues to get better every single time. And I'm really excited to see like where these robots end up in 2023.
Yeah, definitely. And even just mentioning the name Milkshake, I am now like, I was planning on going to Norwalk at some point in 2023. Maybe I need to make sure that I go in May. We'll see.
It might be worth it. It might be worth it.
Yeah. Although at the, at this point, because like I think it's one of those things that when you like love watching the robots, that eventually you catch the bug, and I'm like, maybe I can make something.
Yes.
So I've started the process, and I'm like, well, it just depends on how long it takes to complete the process. It's probably not going to be anything amazing, but I'll be happy to bring it and like let it get destroyed by someone
Our first
awesome.
robot was made from a 2x4, so
Yep.
don't feel bad. You can do it, I promise.
Yeah. I mean, like, because there's so many people that I talk to that have no, like, absolutely no engineering background whatsoever, but that doesn't seem to matter, because as long as you learn, and there's like no shortage of people that are willing to help, and that is, I think, amazing.
Yeah, I've never run into anyone who wasn't willing to help. Every single person is willing to help.
Yep. I think we get messages like weekly, like, is there anything you need help with? Like, can I help you? Or like, if we just have even like the simplest, stupidest question, like, and they're all there to help.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I found that like there's several people, and those people know who they are, that I'm pretty sure that like they will remind me to build a robot. Like if I don't do it, if I don't get it done, they're going to be like, no, you need to do this, and they're going to make sure that I do.
Definitely.
Yeah, which, like I said, I think that that's great. And I think that anybody who is even thinking about doing it, who's like, I'm not sure, like it's probably not going to be any good, like just try.
So what? Just do it.
Just do it. We've said that from the beginning, like, just go. Like, it doesn't matter if you want something, anything, just do it. And if you like, we go in with the mindset like, we know we're not going to go 4-0 and win the championship. We're not there yet. We know that about ourselves, and that's okay, because we still know that we're going to learn and we're going to continue to get better. And we had some wins this year and some judges' decisions, and you're like, wait, you just won a judge's decision? Hold on, like that never would have happened in 2021. So like, we know we're making strides, we know we're getting better, so like, just do it.
Yeah. I think that with a little bit of extra bovine inspiration, you are going to eventually get, I mean, I'm picturing like this killer cow robot. Like I think it could happen.
It's definitely the goal.
Absolutely.
Since you've been going to Norwalk, are there any other like robots or builders there in particular that have had like carried a lot of inspiration for you that you've seen and you just really enjoy? I know that's a difficult question. There's so many people.
There's so many good robots.
There's so many good robots.
It's I mean, I don't necessarily think that we draw inspiration because we don't necessarily look like anybody else or kind of fall in the metas that everybody else does, while we're trying different types of weapons and everything like that. There's not like one single like robot or anything that I feel like that we really draw from. I connect obviously with the people level, but on the robot level, like we're just kind of doing our thing. I feel
I
like.
agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I think more what we draw from people is they're always really encouraging. So I think that we are definitely creative enough to keep coming up with our own ideas and inspiration. And then I think people are more of like a reality check for us. We're like, oh, we want to do this. And they're like, so like you might run into some issues with maybe physics with that.
You know, that math thing.
Why is physics always getting in the way of our dreams?
Don't understand.
So I think, and that's great because we have like a lot of builders that we're close with that can provide that for us. So I think that's really helpful. It's like, okay, is this kind of worth going down this path, or is this is just impossible at the outset? I mean, because normally we go about things like nothing's impossible, but, and you know, to a certain extent, that's true.
I mean, I definitely had that moment myself because I was like, you know, with this idea that I have, I'm like, I want to make a hammer weapon, but I would also like to have a flamethrower in a 3-pound bot. And everybody was like, I don't know that you're gonna have the weight for that necessarily. Yeah. And I'm like, but I want to.
I need it.
I want to.
Yeah, we have similar thoughts, so we get it.
Yes, because I mean I've talked about it a lot, so it's not really a secret like what I'm trying to do, but like this robot that I want to make, I like it's going to be called Cinderella. But what I want is to have this hammer weapon that's actually like a high heel on the end of it. And then I want a flamethrower because it's freaking Cinderella, but like I have to figure out a way to make that all work together.
See if you should get the flame out of the high heel.
Sure. Why not? Why not?
I will say that when we made Milktankette, or at as we like to call her, getting the weapon to actually work and having that huge flame, that was so incredible, because we had always struggled with getting our weapon to spin up and understanding like belts and pulleys and all that other stuff, which is still very complicated as far as I'm concerned. That was so satisfying. I was like, oh my God, this works. So I think, you know, when you intersperse some like personal victories and wins in there, it's just so satisfying. So I loved that. And anytime that any little piece of something works, it's so exciting.
I love, like, I really love though that you did fire in a cow bot. Like, I just love that.
Yeah, it was definitely a plot twist that we kind of kept to ourselves that no one really knew about until it happened.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, like I think that I gravitate a lot towards some robots that have, you know, flamethrowers anyways. But to do it like in that type of robot, I think just like added that extra level to it. Because like that's what I talk about, you know, when I'm, you know, saying mix like the fun with like the scary stuff. Because I think that's just, I love that juxtaposition.
Oh, definitely. It was definitely one of the it was a super fun robot to play with, and then to be able to like, and to be able to grudge it and, you know, go down that amazingly is pretty incredible. It's definitely one of our, I really love her for sure.
Is there any, I mean, you know, like, you know, if you built like a 250-pound robot, not that you would, but like if you did, what would that look like, do you think?
Oh, wow.
It's a good question.
Oh, wow.
We've joked about it.
We have joked about it, and I feel like I'm still trying to wrap my head around 30 pounds. I'm not saying never gonna happen. I'm saying that we're probably a ways away from that even being able to sit in my brain.
I think that you need to get all of the dairy companies, and they just need to
Yes.
sponsor that and
I've
make
been
make
thinking
that.
about that. Yeah, I've been thinking about them, asking and seeing if that would be something that they would do. You're promoting milk, even though I can't stand milk.
I was wondering if she was gonna say it.
I just
Yeah.
can't.
Fun fact: Tamara doesn't even like milk.
I mean, I am dairy intolerant, but I still appreciate the idea behind the robot. So
It's definitely supposed to be more Pokemon based than
yes,
food based.
exactly,
it was okay.
exactly. Yeah, because Pokemon are awesome, and I think that there need to be more Pokemon inspired bots out there.
Definitely.
There's so much you can do with it.
Oh, literally so
There's
much.
what, like 600, I don't even know how many Pokemon there are at this point.
A lot.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a lot. Plenty of ideas to be had.
Especially if you're in my storage. I mean, there's some duplicates there.
I'm curious, this isn't a robot related question, but what is both of your favorite Pokemon game?
Oh, I came into this with Pokemon Go. I mean, my kids were into the games, but I never got into any of that. It was really, I jumped in with Pokemon Go.
Yeah, I did too as well. Like I just started playing Pokemon Go in 2019, 2018, 2019. So yeah, definitely just came in on the Go side of it.
Yeah, and that's honestly how I got into it as well, because I was never like, I don't know if Pokemon passed my generation. Like I was a little bit older when Pokemon really started to become popular, and so I didn't get into it back then. But Pokemon Go, I think, was a really like accessible way for people to just like go out and do it when they wanted to on their phones and stuff like that, and it just kind of evolved from there. But yeah, it's definitely a fun one. But the games have come some ways, and I think with like the new kind of openness of some of the newer games where you can just kind of explore around the area is a pretty cool thing. So I think we need to have more Pokemon.
We'll have to see if we can work on that.
Yes, we will have to see if we can work on that.
Yeah, that's always difficult.
Stray away from the cow for one.
I know. I don't even know if I want to do that. It's like anytime we make a new robot, I'm like, what do we riff out on? Do we riff on the cow, the milk, the tank? Where do we go
next?
Yeah, you never know. I mean, like you can go with something adjacent to that in some way. So, you never know. There's lots of ideas. And the great thing with Norwalk is because, you have the different weight classes, a smaller robot is, it's not that it's easy to put together, but it's easier.
It's definitely easier, and it's definitely less expensive.
Yeah, because I mean, like it's so funny, and I guess like you can both speak to this because you have different different weight level robots, but 30 pounds may not seem like a lot to a lot of people. I mean, I could easily lift 30 pounds. Like that doesn't seem like a big deal to me. But when you're talking about putting together a robot, that is very different than putting together a 3-pound robot.
I think what it did, and which is what I was expecting it was going to do, is magnify the things that we don't understand. So definitely, because front heavy, that was something that we had to kind of deal with, and how do we offset that and make it so that it's not just falling on its face constantly. Things that you don't really think about when you first start doing this, I think, are things that came up. But I think for like just making something new, like for January, we're going to do something, but I've purchased a lot of wrong things when I didn't really understand what I should be buying. So our rule is that we have to use the stuff that we already have. I don't care if it's the right stuff or not. We have to use the stuff we already have. So that should be interesting. Still have no idea what direction it's going. No idea what weapon we're gonna use. None of it. But there'll be something.
Is it really, like, in terms of engineering and the internals and stuff like that, a big leap when you're dealing with the 30-pound versus the 3-pound, you know, like, is that really a big?
I would say it's not so much the internals as like the actual structure of it.
Yeah, the weapons in the 30-pound class are definitely a lot scarier than, you know, just like a finger tech beater bar that you would see in a 3, and you're like, all right, I have to take an impact from that. All right, let's think about how this is gonna go. And I give a lot of credit to the kids at Northwestern, because George is a freaking tank. That thing cracked both our side rails, and it was incredible.
Yeah. It's amazing how powerful that, and I think that's what struck me the first time that I watched Norwalk, because in my mind, I'm like, you know, these are small robots. Like, it's, you know, it's just not going to be as exciting. And then I watched it and I'm like, what is happening? Like, you know, because yeah, they're smaller, but the robots that they're fighting are the same size. So you still get that same like type of impact. And actually, I think even more sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. One of my friends made a comment to me after December. He was like, I never thought the loudest robot in the cages would be a 3-pound robot. And I was like, yeah, they can bring a lot of energy. It's pretty incredible what's out there for sure.
Yes. And I think, you know, like, Norwalk is just going to keep getting better in 2023. Like, even in the time that I watched it from the first stream to the most recent stream, I am like, it is impressive. I mean, this is world class. And I think that, you know, you both have to be really proud to be amongst, you know, like all of these super talented builders and just like great robots, and know that like what you have is amazing in its own right.
That's definitely the part that's like surreal to me. That it really is. And I keep like saying that, but it really is a surreal feeling. It's like, wow, look where we are. Look what we're doing.
Look how far we've come. And like, you know, in the beginning, we kind of, especially in 2021, we sat in the back. We kind of stayed away from everybody. We like had our own table, you know, stayed. And then like as 2022 started, people really started to gather kind of around us. And you're like, all right, like now not only do I have like the momentum of like everything that we're doing, like I have the momentum of the people in this building. And like there's so many people in 2022 that jumped in to help us that I owe so much credit to. And like I can't wait to see, just like with the help of them and how much we've already learned, like what happens in 2023. Like we're very, very grateful for Zoe on Team Honeycraft and everything that she does. Team Defective and every man on that team, and like they are just so helpful. Barcode Robotics, Casey, like we didn't get to see him a bunch in 2022, but he's fantastic. And I think their Christmas card is actually waiting in my mailbox, so I can't wait to go open it. But like those 3 teams have been a backbone to us this year for sure.
That is so awesome to hear. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm so excited for what you both are going to continue to bring, because I just get so much joy watching you fight your robots. And I think a lot of other people do too. I mean, like that's really evident. So yeah, just I'm excited. We'll have to kind of continue to see how things go, but you know, obviously, like if you want to keep seeing people like Team Utter Destruction on this show and be as excited about that as I am, please continue to let me know, and like and subscribe and we'll do more fun stuff. I think that this Pokemon thing definitely needs to happen. So we'll see what that looks like in the new year. But I so appreciate you both coming on, especially so close to the holidays. But this was a great time, and I'm so glad that I got a chance to talk to both of you.
Thank you so
Yay,
much.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So everybody keep watching, and we'll see you next time on the show with our very first episode of the new year being a preview of season 7 of BattleBots with Greg Munson. So super exciting. And we'll see everybody soon.